Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, join me and Alejo here to learning astrology together and improve your interpretation technique. At this moment, we are learning transiting planet through the house, and we are moving to the Pluto, transiting Pluto in the ninth house. Alejo, so what's the ninth house about?
So ninth house, we say higher learning, we say journey, spirituality, morality, beliefs, like life guidelines, if you want. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Two. Well, sounds kind of a when Pluto move into there, are we going to through a little bit of the dark age of our what we believe?
I think so. I think it can be quite a spiritual crisis. Yes. I
Ah,
think we might start seeing that a lot of things that we believe actually are having a lot of power over us,
mm-hmm.
and maybe we don't feel free enough. Like we were saying in the past, when Pluto's transiting the seventh house, then the partner becomes the devil. Everything that's
Uh-huh.
wrong is because of them.
Yeah.
With Pluto in the ninth house, we might start seeing that our beliefs have so much power over us. So
Ah.
everything that's wrong is with them, it's with those beliefs. So we need to change what we believe. We feel like we need to change what we believe. But also, it might take us to a dark place. Maybe our beliefs become darker. Maybe we start losing faith, losing hope, losing
Mm-hmm.
meaning. And by Pluto dismantling, all of these structures that held us for so long, what it will allow us is to actually find a true belief, a very authentic, pure, noble, and yeah, life guide or moral compass that actually was dressed up with all of these other garments around it.
Yeah. To be honest, everything have their bright side and the dark side. I think for the things we believe, they also could have something that we never acknowledged before. And the things we
Yeah.
believe. For example, let me give an example. For example, maybe if people believe in so-called democratic value, so everyone together we decide something. But what if a whole bunch of stupid people make a decision and you are involved with it? Are you going to say, I hate democratic, I want to go to, autocratic or dictatorship?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So every belief system has its flaws and its dark side. Yes.
Mhm. And
And
so Pluto moving into the ninth house, it more kind of force us to recognize that.
I think so. Yes, I would say so. Yes.
Yeah. Also, I think another side of the ninth house, it could be also kind of how we see the world, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
I
the,
think
the, the, the world future, more about that.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So when Pluto move into, are we going to like, oh, dark and doom? Come on.
I think it could happen. Yes, I think Pluto in the ninth could either deeply transform how we see this our worldview, so deeply
Hmm.
change it, and I think probably it's a long transit, right? So it's not something that's going to happen
Yeah,
from one day to the other. I
true.
think probably we're going to see that some of the approaches we have, some of the way we perceive the world and we understand the meaning of life is not really life-giving. And so we might feel somewhat abandoned at some moment, if we believe in God or in these
Hmm.
principles that you were saying, we might feel they're
Yeah.
not working, we feel abandoned. So the world becomes a dark place, we feel alone perhaps, we feel vulnerable, we feel weak. And the reaction might be to compulsively run into another belief, run into another
Hmm.
worldview, and
Hmm.
and consume it, like eat it up completely. With Pluto, which show is
Ooh.
so is voracity. So like consume this new worldview and completely attach to this new worldview because we're so afraid of seeing that there might not be that every worldview, every perspective has a dark side, has flaws. So we
Mm.
might, but with Pluto going in the ninth house, the sense of fear might be so grand that we
Hmm.
might ferociously try to grab and compulsively believe in one thing and completely deny what we don't want to see. When Pluto
Uh-huh.
actually is trying to help us see, right?
That's true. That's
But
true.
the reaction
Be-
will be to try to be to the reaction might be, it depends on the person and the chart,
yeah.
but the reaction might be to try to be in control. So to try to find a philosophy that allows me to feel in control. And once I find it, to completely attach to it. When Pluto actually is asking for the opposite, is asking for change, for questioning your philosophy, for questioning what's the meaning of life.
Mm.
And because it's a long process, I think it's important to try to cope with the sense of darkness and uncertainty.
You're right. You just remind me one thing I read from those book about open-minded. So
Mm,
when we are most scared, we tend to arm ourselves. We try to wear the armor and protect ourselves. Say, this is the only truth, what I believe. This is the best things for the world, for myself, and for everyone else. And we kind of neglect, the other possibility. But in another way, if we open our mind, that's night house things, what we believe, and maybe you just say it could be our interpretation, and also other people are entitled to have their own interpretation. That would be much easier for everyone to have a
yeah,
dialogue. And once we open our mind, there's no absolutely truth, one thing, then I think we can kind of a gently grow up. And
yeah,
that, I think that could be eventually what we can get out from the Pluto, transiting Pluto in the night house, a kind of maturity of what we believe in the world.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Very nice.
Well,
Very nicely
yeah,
said. Well, amazing.
thank you. Well, next week we are going to Pluto in 10th house. That's another, angular house. That could be, a little bit turbulence. A lot of things going to change when transiting Pluto, moving to 10th house. So come to join us next week and then see you next week. Bye bye.